It's fall, y'all. Yeah. So we are going to roast the produce of the season. So stay tuned and see what that is and how we do it. I'm Leona Dooley, and this is Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme. Come back to the kitchen of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme, where we work hard, we love God and family, and we know that everything else is just gravy. So please come back, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon, right here. Today in the kitchen, we are going to be taking a look at some of fall's best vegetables. We are going to deal with those vegetables that are root vegetables. And we're going to take a look at different types of potatoes. We're going to look at some squash. We're even going to throw in a few carrots. And the colors, oh, when you see the colors of them in their natural hue, it is just absolutely beautiful and all about fall. I'm going to turn you down because I want you to see what I have in my pan, and we're going to be adding more to it. And then we're going to take some, because I had a little bit too much, we're going to take a few, put them in the freezer, and use them another time for some soup perhaps. So let's get to it. Now I'm bringing you down to this beautiful pan of vegetables. I have butternut squash that I have peeled and chopped into about a 2-inch chunk. I have some carrots that are about at 2 inches as well. I had some fresh russet potatoes that I got at the farm. I'm going to add in some sweet potato. So I'm going to move that pan. I'm going to take my sweet potatoes, and I want them to be pretty much the same size. That's the cue. All right, that's the one thing we have to make sure that we do is to try to make sure that the vegetables are as close to equal sizes as possible. Now be careful, because they are root vegetables. They're hard. Now here's our sweet potato. And these sweet potatoes came to me yesterday. They were hand-picked at the farm. We have a little co-op group. And so these were delivered yesterday. And I've already heard that they are absolutely delicious. So I can't wait that they're going to be so sweet. So, what are we going to put on them? Well, first of all, I'm going to add in some of our herbs. We need salt, pepper. I think I'll probably add a little garlic powder. And, I think I'll throw in an onion. All right, now the first thing I'm going to do is to take some oil, and this is grapeseed oil. You are either going to want to use grapeseed oil or some olive oil, or even some just regular vegetable oil would be fine, because we're going to be roasting these at a pretty high temperature. So it may be that you may not want to necessarily use olive oil. But grapeseed oil is great because it can handle the high temperature. Now, I am all about the oils, so I'm just kind of mixing these up, because when I start to sprinkle the seasonings on them, I want them to stick. So let me wash my hands. clean hands, and I'm going to get a teaspoon because we're about to do a little sprinkling. Now first I'm going to start with my pink Himalayan salt, and I'm holding it high and doing a little gentle sprinkle because I want it to touch every vegetable, and it's like we're raining the salt and pepper over these vegetables. So I've got about a half teaspoon of pepper, and I'm sprinkling. Trying to make sure I get a little bit on each one. That was a half teaspoon of, I had a little over a half teaspoon of salt, but right at a half teaspoon of pepper. Now, I'm going to sprinkle on some garlic powder, and this is a new container, so I'm going to need to open that up, and I'm just going to shake some over it. We like garlic. I'm just going to give it a little shake, shaky. I'm going to shake in some onion powder. Here's another new container. And you know, you have to get the parts off. So there we go. We've got our onion powder. And he doesn't want to open, does he? Oh, wrong way. Always helps to do it right. So I'm sprinkling in some onion powder. Okay. About a quarter of a teaspoon of garlic powder, quarter of a teaspoon of onion powder. Remember, you can always add, but you can't take away. Now, I'm going to use my herbs of Provence mix, and that's because it includes all those herbs that we want. The thyme, the oregano, the basil, parsley, all of that is in here. And man, it smells good. And a little rosemary. So I'm going to give it a little shake. And it's about a teaspoon of your herbs. Nice mix. Oh, I wish you were here and you could smell how good this is. Let me get my spatula. I'm going to take my spatula and I'm just going to start to give everything a toss. Oh, smells great. I'm a veggie girl. Okay. Now, to start out, I'm going to cover this because I want them, because they are root vegetables, we want to start them off with the cover so they can start to steam a little bit and really cook. And then at the end, we will crank that heat up and let them really roast. So let me get my heavy-duty aluminum foil. Put it over my veggies. Okay, seal it in. And I'm gonna start this at 30 minutes. And at 30 minutes, when the clock goes off, I'm gonna check their doneness. And if they are almost fork tender, then I will take the top off and let them roast. Just let them roast. Turn that heat up to about 425, 450, and let them finish off. But for right now, we need for those vegetables to cook. And you know what? I did say I was going to put an onion in there, didn't I? And I forgot to do that. So let me go get that onion. Okay, before we get it into the oven, let's grab those, get this foil off real quick and throw the onion in. happens as fast as you hope for it to. Okay, onions. And this is just one large onion that I've cut into six pieces. Let's get him in there. Let's get him nice and oiled up. And like I said, I kept it thick because it needs to be about the same size as the other veggies. All right. Okay, foil on. Okay, she is going into a 400-degree oven. All right, let's take the foil off and get it out of the oven. Now, look at that steam. Oh man, they are nice and hot. The onions have actually released a little bit of liquid, and certainly we're going to need for that liquid to evaporate while it's in the oven. But I found some broccoli, guys, so we are going, you know, you have to have a little green, but it's frozen. So, but that's okay because it's going to be in the stove and in the oven. And so I'm just throwing some broccoli in just to add a little bit of extra color. And it is going to be amazing. That's all we need. And that's enough for the two of us. We had nothing left. Now, we're going to sprinkle just a tiny bit more salt because the broccoli needs a little bit of salt. And then we're going to put it back into the oven and let it continue to roast. It's been in the oven now for 30 minutes, and let's get it back in. This pan of deliciousness is now out of the oven, and I've taken my wooden spoon and just kind of stirred everything up, giving it a chance to mix, and look at the colors. You know, anytime you have vegetables and you have a variety of different colors, you know that this is a healthy mix because you're getting all of your vegetables, you're getting all of your antioxidants. And I'm going to serve this with some air-fried chicken wings, and they have absolutely no type of sauce or anything on them. I just season them with a little salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, put them in, and they're nice and crispy. So we have a very healthy dinner tonight. Stop, and before we go any further, let me remind you, please, right now, go down to the like and click on like. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so you will know every time I upload a video. Remember, we do things here at Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme in the kitchen, for the kitchen. So don't forget to like the video and to subscribe. Thank you. Now we're going to do these vegetables in 30 minutes or less, and you're going to love it because I've cut up my vegetables and you're going to see what I'm going to do with them. And I'm pulling out my favorite, kielbasa, and this is turkey kielbasa. Oh yeah, I'm bringing out the cast iron tonight. We've got potatoes, we've got sweet potatoes. I even threw in some extra butternut squash. I've gotten my little mini peppers and sliced those, and they're in there. I have onions, and I've even sliced the turkey kielbasa, and I am going to cook those in my favorite, my cast iron skillet. So I'm just kind of picking through there so you can see. But here's the surprise. This is going to be a little spicy. Now, you can choose how spicy a banana pepper that you get, but these are those little peppers that you use sometime on pizza or Italian sandwiches, and I'm going to take those and I'm going to sprinkle them all through this dish. They are so good. And what I'm going to do with them is that they're going to cook with the veggies. So I have my oven on 425, actually my top oven on 425, and I need to add some salt and pepper. So here's the pepper. We're just going to give it some good shake, because we don't really need a lot of pepper, because we have the little banana peppers that are a part of this, and they are a little spicy, but I did add some salt. And remember, we can add seasoning later. So if I taste it and I think we need a little more salt or pepper, I can always go back and put that in. But if I put too much in right now, that's going to be a problem, because then I'm not going to be able to take it away. So I'm going to put the top on these, put them back in the refrigerator. They're by Mount Olive. And we're going to get these ready for the oven. So it's nice and hot in there. I'm going to stick my skillet in. Notice I am not at this point, do I need to cover it up? Well, maybe. Let's see. I did decide to go ahead and cover those vegetables, mainly because of the fact that the root vegetables are so thick that they need that extra bit of steam. But later, I'm going to take the cover off, put it on broil, and let everything get toasty. Now, are you ready to see exactly what this dish is going to look like? I promise you, it's going to be wonderful. Let's take that top off, and I'm going to use my spatula and just mix everything up. Ah, the potatoes are fork tender. The other vegetables have imparted their flavor. And you know what? Because of the peppers and the spices and the kielbasa, I did not have to add any more salt or pepper to the mix, which was great. So I'm looking at this skillet thinking, now do I really need to put it back in? And yes, I do. I put it back in the oven, and I'm going to let things just get a little crispy on top. And notice I pulled out some rolls. Those are some rolls that I had and I had prepared, and I split them in half, put some butter on them, put them in the oven, got them nice and toasty, and we're ready to go. Dinner is served, you guys. It's ready. Let's eat. I hope you have had a wonderful time in the kitchen, and I hope that you will continue to be a part of the Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme family. I have certainly enjoyed your presence.